Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be upgrading the side view mirrors on this 2012 Ram. Those of you that might have followed, I did change the front end on this truck to a 2016 or actually a 2013 and above. So this particular truck was a sport truck, so it had the matching colored mirrors. This happens to be red. So we're going to be upgrading these to the tow mirrors, which flip out. These are just your standard mirrors that the truck came with. This being a half-ton or what have you, sport did not have the towing mirrors on it. So we'll be upgrading to the towing mirrors. So this did have the turn signal in it. So the aftermarket ones that I got are these here. These are very well built. I bought them online, so obviously they are aftermarket. These are heated. It has a turn signal built into the glass here. Again, they come very well packed in the styrofoam cases, and they're wrapped in a bag. Again, these are towing mirrors. This has the puddle light underneath here, and it also has a turn signal built into the mirror itself here. So that flips this way. So we're going to go ahead and put these on and see how they look. So to remove the mirrors, it's not that hard on these. There's a panel back here. Once you open up the door, this is the passenger side. It'll be the exact same for the driver's side. It's just the opposite side. Anyhow, there's a cover here that you need to pull on right on the corner here. And once you pull it, it just releases. There's a couple of clips that holds it here and here. Again, once you pull on it, it will release. Now, this being an electronic mirror, original one is heated, turn signal, puddle light, what have you. It does have a wire going into the door panel. There's only two nuts that hold it. There's one here, one here. Those two are 10 millimeters. So once you loosen those up or remove those, the mirror will actually come off of the door. But you will have to remove the door panel to get to the plugs to unplug the wiring. To remove this door panel, what you need is a Torx T20. There are Torx plastic screws all around the side and the bottom of the door. So you can see them here, 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 and here. So all those will need to be removed. There's a little button behind the handle here. Once you kind of flip that to a side here, there is a Phillips head screw that also needs to be removed. So we'll go ahead and get those out. These are the T20 plastic screws that are all around, holding the door panel onto the door. So there's 6 of these again, and then there's a Phillips screw right behind the door handle here that needs to be removed. So these sometimes can be a pain. They just spin and don't want to come out. You could always just take a screwdriver and pull them out if they don't want to come out just by turning them. Or sometime when you loosen it up, just the head will come out. They're pushed in just like so. They're just push pins, and the screw goes right into that. So sometimes the screw will come out. This will remain in here. All you need to do is just pick it out of there, kind of like so. You can take a screwdriver and pull the whole thing out. So once you have all those removed and that Phillips screw behind the door handle removed, you should be able to just lift up the door handle. You can see how it slides up and down, and release it from the hooks in the back and pull it away from the door. Being careful that your door handle's not catching here. You might have to move it this way to slide the whole door panel out. So the door panel itself will just pull away from the door, being careful that you're not catching this. So the door panel has to be lifted up and over this door lock here. And then again, pulling this door handle, so that'll come out of that there. Now at this point, there's nothing holding this door panel onto the door. There is a plug that goes to the window switches here. If you want to completely remove the door panel off of here, all you have to do is unplug it from the bottom. I'm just going to let it hang for now, because all we're trying to access is the plug for the mirror. Here's a wire that comes off of the mirror. It's clipped onto here on the edge of the door, and there is the 2 plugs that I'm looking for. So we'll go ahead and unplug it here from the box. Then we'll go ahead and remove 2 10mm bolts, and we should be able to remove the complete mirror from the door. I did fail to mention there's actually three nuts or screws holding it. There was one here, and there's a third one here that I failed to mention. So you will also need to remove that. Once that's off, I've already unplugged the electrical connectors from the box here that was going to the mirror. So all I need to do is remove this 10 millimeter nut here, and I should be able to remove the whole mirror. Now we can just pick the mirror up. And we should be able to pull the whole wiring right out from the hole here. There's a complete mirror, original mirror off the vehicle. So there's a clip that kind of hangs onto it here also. So once you pull it, that'll come out of there. So there's 1, 2, 3 10 millimeter nuts. And it's off. Let's go ahead and put our new one on. So once you have your new mirror in place, just making sure these studs line up through the hole, push it through, put your nuts back on. First thing obviously is you want to fish that wire through the hole. You know, I've already have it plugged in into the box here. Originally the original wire was clipped into this plastic clip here on the door. We'll go ahead and tape it like the original one was right to that clip again. So at this point all we need to do is go ahead and tighten up these 10 millimeter screws. You don't want to over tighten them. Remember, they're just into the plastic. That's all it is. And here's your new mirror. You want to make sure it's nice and tight. Everything seals correctly. So at this point, all I need to do is repeat the process on the other side, on the driver's side. Driver's side mirror also installed, just like we did on the passenger side. Now remember, your new mirrors do come with the hardware, so it comes with the new nuts here. But I ended up using my original ones. Here's what the hardware looks like that comes with the mirror. Your OEM ones are much better. It's got a much better washer on it. I just put that on just to show you guys. I will replace that with the OEM since I have them. But if you don't have your originals, you can absolutely use these. I'd recommend putting another washer behind it since these are a bit smaller. They're the same size and everything as far as the socket. They're still 10 millimeters. So we have both of our mirrors on. Door panels are still off. At this point, we want to go ahead and check all the functions. So we'll go ahead and turn the key on and put our turn signal on. And as you can see, the turn signal, this does have a turn signal in the mirror here too. And that seems to be working on the outside. I've already checked the other side. That's all functional. There is a puddle light underneath that is also functional. So at this point, we can go ahead and button it up. We can put the door panels back on. It's just as easy as how we removed them. You want to go ahead and lift the door panel up. Put your door lock in if that has slipped out. Basically, it's just hooks behind the door panel that needs to get hooked, and we'll put the screws back in. So now that we got both of our mirrors on, we're ready to go ahead and button up the doors, putting the door panels back on. Super easy to do, just kind of reversing of how you took them apart. Now these things have hooks in the back, the door panels. If you look at the back of it, there's a screwdriver I had in there. Anyhow, there's these hooks. You can see one right here. There's a hook there at the bottom, all along the door panel here. Basically what they do is they drop in here and hook right in here. There's one here, and of course up top here. So what you're trying to do is lift the door panel up above these hooks and just drop them right in there. So you want to go ahead and hook up your door lock here right through the hole on the door panel. You want to go ahead and hold your door handle while you slide the door panel through, lift it up and above that, and then drop it into the hooks. You're unable to lift the door panel high enough to get it to latch in those hooks because it's hanging up on the door handle itself here. What you can do to remedy that is remove this whole panel that's here. There's nothing holding it since we have the screw out. It actually goes this way. If you just go from the back of the door panel before you have it on the door and just kind of give it a push, it just latches in with these. Once you have the front kind of unclipped, you're able to slide the whole thing out of there. Once that's out, you can lift the panel up and put it in position where it needs to go. That's where I have it now. All my holes line up here. And putting this panel back in is super easy. It's just going to go around the handle into it, and you're able to push it and lock it right back into position where it should go. So you want to hold it kind of like so, get those clips in and in the back here, and then just push it and lock it in, kind of like so. And once you do that, it'll lock right in. Again, that'll make it easier to put the panel back on, so you can lift it. Otherwise, when you're trying to lift it, the handle is catching on this. It'll catch on this and won't let you lift it high enough to get it into those hooks. So once you have it there, now I can go ahead and put the push pins back in and all the holes all the way around. These are push pins here. You don't need any tool to do that. You just want to make sure the screws kind of all the way out, just about. Put it right in the hole. Once it's there, you can go ahead and push it in and it'll lock right in. So we'll get rest of those in. We'll get our Phillips screw right back in here also, tighten that up, and we'll install that little panel here. So we have all our push pins back in position and installed. The Phillips screw in here tightened up, and the button over covering it. Now the only step we got left is installing this cover back on. There's no screws holding it again. It just kind of sits in position. Once you have the pins in the holes where they should be, just push it in and that locks right in. So at this time, the installation of the mirror is all complete. Let's go ahead and check all the functions, make sure everything folds up how it should. And this is how they look. They do fold in and out that way. And you can also pick the side up, and that's your towing mirrors. That does come in handy when you're towing a trailer. This is the look I was kind of going for on this truck. Since I've lifted the front, I'll do something with the rear also to level everything out. And that's how that side looks. So there's our towing mirrors installed. There's plenty of other work left to do on this truck. I like to paint the grill to match the truck also. So this is kind of a project. So we'll be doing plenty of more work to this truck. So stay tuned. I thank you for watching. Take care.